Hey everyone, so I wanted to do a quick video real quick, and I just wanted to talk about a video that I just saw, and I didn't even finish watching it. I came immediately because something he spoke about resonated so powerfully within me, and I remembered, and I said, I'm going to document it. Today is, I think it's May 31st, and it is about 10:15 p.m. The video is called Second Exodus. And in the video, he said something about how the first Exodus was. Y'all, the first Exodus, I think, happened in possibly 2023 or maybe 2022. And I remember it happening telepathically, possibly. And these people had all gathered up and they were leaving. They had left me. These were supposed to be my family, right? And so they had actually left, and then they went to go and board somewhere, and the people told them that they were like, where's Teresa? And they said, y'all trying to get here, and y'all want to be here, and wherever y'all are trying to go to, but where is Teresa? And so they were like, I didn't hear nothing else. And then in the physical, what was actually happening to me is they were connecting to me telepathically, and they were like, oh, the world is ending. You got healing hands. Put your healing hands on this country in America to save the whole world. And so I was on the side of the road. My car had ran out of gas, and I personally think they were trying to kill me for my healing hands. Because I was on the side of the road. My car had run out of gas, and I wasn't paying attention to the gas tank because these people are here, Freemasonry, connecting with me telepathically. And then when I turned my turning signal on, the frequency on the turning signal, they started connecting to that frequency. So then I'm wondering what is happening. And so I started to I was doing what they told me because it was as if a part of me was missing. I had not eaten. I had not drunk no water. I didn't realize how dehydrated I was and what was happening all around me. And they were like, the stuff that was happening was so unbelievable. I opened the door to put my healing hands on the ground outside, and a tractor trailer truck was riding right past me at the same time. And it could have took my whole head off. I would be gone. And that was just how close it was, and I didn't recognize it. And I was still trying to help the whole world. What I thought I was helping the whole world, but these group of people were trying to kill me. And now here it is, fast forward, we in 2026. I'm in the spiritual community, and these people been telling me the past couple of weeks, they've been telling me to kill myself and give them my healing hands, and for me to just hurry up and die. Like, just die. Like, die, bitch. Bitch, we trying to kill you. Bitch, we hate you. Bitch, we want you to die. This is what they've been telling me in the spiritual community. And it's been the people around me that I actually think I could trust. I have seen God in them, and I see them being attacked. So I see them going through things that lets me see, oh, they really on a financial, burden, and they got stuff happening, but they still blessing other people. They still showing up and at least trying to give the best part of themselves as best as they can. They don't give you their negative unless you really trying to break them down. Some of us out here really are chosen and to not receive good in the spirit, but it's because we are good in the flesh. These people are jealous in the spirit because they know in the spirit, oh, they got these gifts. Why they got these gifts? But they know you got these gifts because they have went up to Egyptian spirituality imbalanced. So they were not balanced. They were in the dark side. In order for you to go up into Egyptian spirituality, how can you just jump up into Egyptian spirituality and you ain't even in sin and go through Christ? How you just gonna ascend? That's dangerous for you. That means you trying to sacrifice yourself and kill yourself. You didn't ascend and activate Christ within your heart. You didn't ground yourself and have a spiritual foundation, first of all, because you got to have a root. The root, you got to ground yourself. And the root can come from your feet or it can come from you sitting. It may be either or what you might need. You might need to take a walk in ground and get some fresh air and move your legs, or you may need to sit down and ground. You can also ground by cleaning yourself off and taking a shower. So when you ground in the spirit, you are grounding to your soul, you're grounding to your body, your soul, the spirit, to a foundation of truth, of a spiritual foundation, and then your physical foundation. And then there's an emotional foundation. There's an alignment, there's a requirement. So there's levels to an understanding of developing in life. And some people decided, oh, well, I'm going to take a shortcut. I ain't got to go through all this. I know this, and this is what I know, and this is what I'm going to do. And I'm not referencing certain people that's being projected to my mind. Because then when they hear me talking like this, like me recording these videos, they'll start putting me in their communities based off of keywords that I'm saying. And then next thing you know, the next morning, they try to create a warfare and say, here, bitch, and throw fire on your head. When I'm telling you, it feels like knives, the fire is coming down into my head and I have to breathe. And they say that these are the ancestors, but I know that at the beginning of this platform, of my YouTube platform, you'll go and see that this platform started based off of Faye Faye. You know her man, Zay-Z. So I am just basically saying this to say they said the second Exodus is here, y'all. I have been opening scriptures about talking about Exodus 22:18 and no sorceress can live. Y'all will be surprised if I told you, what if everyone on this entire earth except the children is a sorceress? Unless you ascended in Christ and you know that you activated your jewels in you, and we in that time, and your jewels are supposed to be activated in you. These people knew that my jewels were in me, my jewels was in me, and they knew the power that was within me. They knew that they got this information from my mother. They just knew what to do, and they went in and did everything in the spirit. And it was the best place for them to do it. You only go in one or two directions. Either you ascend to God or you descend to fire. You either ascend you either ascend and ascend to God. Because when you go to God and you ascend, you have to have ascended as well. You externalize love, but by now, we should have Christ in us activated, and we should have ascended. It is a requirement for your spiritual vessel. Many people are going to a physical location of the church and don't want to acknowledge that in spirit of their mind, in truth, they are part of a society that knows the church is really in you. These people have been trying to kill me, y'all. And I'm about to post this video because they said it's my mama. They said your mother doing this and she trying to kill you in the spirit. They said it's your mother. So the people in this country, in America, went over many Africans, Asians, Russians, Hispanics, Europeans of the European nations. They decided to go over them and violate their spiritual boundary. In them doing that, they took spiritual gifts from people. When they took those spiritual gifts, these people are wondering what happened to their gifts spiritually, and they got you in their community. So then they put you, the people that take your gifts, they put you in their community so they can always use your gifts whenever they want freely. Because they did not ascend to God gifts. They only have dark power. And we all, as melanated people, naturally have dark power, but you got to know that the Bible is your birthright. So we, as melanated people, have a duty, a calling, and a spiritual assignment to this earth, to this world, to this universe. We have so much work to do. You had no time to go and worry about nails and hair. You have no time to worry about starting a business with food. Because where you gonna have these things at if there's no earth? You have a spiritual assignment. That's it. Once you complete that, you were to move forward into a physical assignment that was in an alignment with the spiritual. Because if you go in the opposite, in reverse, you will go against your spiritual assignment. Your spiritual assignment and duty should be to do what you know is needed of you. There's so much chaos that's been happening. But when I saw this video about the second Exodus, and the guy in the video, he started talking about things that I remembered that was wiped from my memory, I immediately came to this video and recording and forgot that these people tried to kill me in 2023. They've been trying to kill me so much. When I was in high school, they tried to get me to... I used to slice my wrists when I was in high school. So, I know there's something that's been like trying to get me. And then when I was a baby, I was like 3 years old. This mark that you see, that you can barely see, it was a burnt mark. I took my hand and just walked up to the heater at 3 years old and just burnt myself, trying to kill myself. Why 3-year-olds trying to kill themselves? Because this 3-year-old was raped by men that were European, that were my next door neighbors, in a way that was it was the worst way a girl could ever be raped. At 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, right in that area. I'm fast forward, went into, I think I remember high school, molested. Graduated high school. I felt like I put myself in that position because I was flirting and then he took it. And so I kind of felt like it was my fault. I carried that burden with me for a very long time. I want to say almost up into the past 3 years. So something happens to the girls where they are getting, where they way of initiating them into the spiritual system seems to be of rape. Because if you watch the movie, The Da Vinci Code, you will know that her grandfather, that's what he did to her, but they didn't say it. They didn't want to say it. Because they knew if they said it, then they were going to keep the focus on the church. And then they were going to watch the men in the church. And they were going to watch the men in the church in the physical. But if they had only known to watch the men in the church in the spiritual, because of many of them, not maybe your locals, but higher up on other lands outside of America, were spilling their fire semen into these women's vaginas, because these men in the spirit were fighting a warfare that was of different spirits. Let's say that. In spirits, you have a spirit of America. There's a spirit of America. There is a spirit to your suitcase. There's a spirit to your bed. That's how they have done this thing. right now in 2026. So I married a man that he used to cut his wrist too. It resonated, we connected, and we healed from it. We didn't do it no more, and then we moved forward. But it seems like all our life he had been through so much pain. He had been through more pain than me. I can't say that. But when he told me his stories, I thought to myself that he must have been through more pain than me. When I sit here now and look back at my ex-husband and our lives over the past 18 years, and we just got in, well, he was arguing with himself really yesterday because I couldn't get in that argument I couldn't get in that with him because he brought our kids into it and started playing the victim. And right before my eyes, I watched him change again. When you don't give these narcissistic, sadistic people that would, excuse me, when these people that have a narcissistic, sadistic spirit attached to them, and you don't give it what it wants, when it wants it, how it wants it, they get very angry. Well, the spirit and the entity and the beast gets angry. If you want to know what the beast is and you want to know what I'm talking about, watch End of Days. Watch Bless the Child. Watch The Da Vinci Code. Watch Chronicle. Watch Sinners. Sinners especially for melanated people, because it's not about going into the church physically. It's about having the church in you spiritually. And that's where so many black people are about to go wrong, because y'all been serving God outside your temple. And my goodness, you thought you were doing good. But when you know better, you're required to do better. It's a calling, it's an assignment, it's an anointing at that point. You've already been through the test. Now it's time for you to share the testimony. Ain't no time for you to be playing. I don't care how you share the testimony, but tell it. When you go to the playground, tell it. When you go to the grocery store, tell it. Tell how good God is, or tell how good how life can change with a positive mind. Because you got to have both in you as a divine. As a divine, you have to have the ability to recognize and know good and evil at this point in our lives. If the beginning started with Adam and Eve eating the fruit and them didn't know, come on, y'all, we've been over 400 years. Stop playing victim and you are victorious. Stand up and do what is required of you. That's what God is telling me to tell you all right now and to say. But I initially applied it for myself that way. So now God is telling me, you better share and tell them what you've been through. If these people perish, their blood is upon you. So I had to go to work, and I've been taking these pain from y'all. Y'all got beasts. A lot of Black Americans that are melanated, y'all got beasts. Y'all got entities. In spiritual communities, you want me to bring my ascended divine wisdom of from the divine mother, from the divine father. You want me to bring that to you. My mother was divine. My father was divine. And yes, I'm a divine woman of them. I'm a branch off from them. So I am saying this to say, I wish that people would really consider the work that they have done in the spirit and the things they have done in the spirit, and let your ego go. You are gaining weight. That's not good. There's something wrong. And your attitude has always been nasty. You always been a nasty girl. I don't like you. Your nose is so big because you are so nosy. You are nasty in the spirit. You are nasty in the flesh. When somebody talk to you, your ego is nasty because you go over them and act like you know everything and act like you better than them, and you actually talk that way to somebody. I never speak to somebody in a way to make them feel intimidated or less than or hurt them or calm them down in that way. They are using you. They're pumping you up in the spirit, girls, to make you act like that to another woman. They pumping you up in the spirit. Check your waist. Check your mothership. Check your vagina at night. Take your hand and snatch something off your waist as if it's there, like a chastity belt. Take it and snatch something off and see if you feel better and lighter at your waist. I'm telling you what I'm saying because your gates have been just open, ladies. And they just been coming in and out of your temple at night in the spirit whenever they want. And I told them, you cannot have me in the spirit. You will not be intimate with me spiritually without me knowing and with me knowing knowingly. You cannot have me. I can't even see you. Spirit spouses, I don't have you. And you don't have me. You got to denounce these things because possibly your mother or your father could have done them and you could be in their community. Then in addition to that, for you to come and put me in your community, and then I got to deal with your karma and your mother and your father's karma, your entire ancestry and lineage, and then I have my own family. No, we're not supposed to be in anyone's spiritual body community. And your body should not be a community. When y'all got spiritual communities, that means you saying that you put people in your body. You took half of their soul. Some people only have half. So you see this person got two sides in them and you decide, oh, I'm going to attach to this side. I want this side. I want this gifts. You just in the spirit, just picking and choosing what you need and what you want. And you don't even know that this is an actual human being. So when you are doing those things, it's sorcery. Sorcery is to add to and take from. I don't want you to add your cord to me in the spirit. I don't want you to attach to me in the spirit. I don't want you to consume me in the spirit. I don't want you to violate or touch me at all. I don't even want you to communicate with me in the spirit unless you know it's time to exit the dust. And then you telling me the path I need to take. Sojourner Truth. I moved into a house, y'all, and I think it's very powerful. I think something happened all around here, too. That's another thing. But I will honestly say that before I moved to this home, I was going through a spiritual activation and a spiritual awakening, and it was happening little by little. But then when I moved here, I seemed to be more connected to ancestry, African ancestry. And so now I feel like there's nothing wrong as far as African ancestry as long as you have not done any divination and worshiping idols and doing certain things and going to the ancestors for things. I don't do that. I don't go to the ancestors for those things because what I have been taught and what I have learned and researched and educated, I have asked God for understanding and God gave me understanding. I asked God for understanding of some situations and God gave it to me. I am grateful for it. The divine spirits gave it to me. I am grateful for it. I did not go through any third parties. I shot my shot straight directly to source. And I did that because when I kept reading, and then I also know my bloodline, what I'm made up of, my bloodline was supposed to heal from doing those things. My bloodline could not ever go in reverse again unless the whole world would. So here I am over here taking care of myself and not recognizing that in me changing things for myself, I was going to change it for the whole earth. I didn't know that. I just was focusing on myself, and then here I go learning, oh, you're O. So then O is mitochondria. Let's go read or research mitochondria. Wait, that's the original. They're the generator. They're original mothers. That's the original bloodline of the earth. So wait a minute. If she was here in the beginning, and this is the time we're in right now, I'm praying and hoping that because of so much warfare that we have gone through in the past 3 years, and especially last year, this year, for me, it has been so painful and so hurtful that I've tried my best to not even cry and to stay strong. Because it's so unbelievable the things these people have been saying and doing. I've been feeling them. I've been feeling like people in my body this past year, like they got shot while they were that consumed me. Like maybe they possibly consumed me and then they went to a certain area where they had all these people. Maybe let's say Epstein Island, they might have had all these people there. These people have been doing these things that have done things in the physical that they should not have done, but they were forced to do it in the spiritual, and they have a certain power where they can't be removed from the planet unless they're killed. And so they know how to protect themselves so they don't get killed. So, but they do stuff and they say stuff to cause people to think. So now they're coming in to consume me, and they're not supposed to, asking me, do I want to work tomorrow? And the truth is, if I say I want to work tomorrow, or if I even mention working tomorrow, which I did that to kind of get a little bit more information, because I spoke to my mother earlier tonight, and my mother, I booked a vacation for tomorrow, but I've been on a budget, so I don't have the $50 to reschedule my vacation on a debit card. So I was calling my mom, and I asked her, I said, do you have $50 on the debit card where I can use it to reschedule my vacation dates? And so she was like, no, I ain't got it. And I don't know. Kind of like, real condescending, making you feel less than. And I can count on one hand my entire life the many times I've asked my mother for something. Because I don't ask her for nothing. I'm the type of daughter that been working since I was 14 years old, and I used to walk to work, and she used to pick my brother up and take him to work. I walked to work. That's how I was raised. And a lot of us as daughters were put in a position for us to be raised in a masculine way, whether we chose to or not. And so I called her and trying to get that from her. And because I knew that, I normally don't ask her for things, and I saw how it was going in the direction it was going, and something was just taken from me and wiped. I wanted to come back.